Following their defeat during the Second Battle of Geonosis, Separatist forces began attempting to carry out a series of offensives to regain the momentum they had had before the minor Separatist victories of the past few months of the war. One of the first offensives carried out in this wave of Separatist attacks was a series of assaults across the Outer Rim with the effort of regaining territory in that area that had been lost to the Republic in the past few weeks of the conflict. Like the previous Skytop Station offensives, this offensive was led by General Grievous, and in the early days of this assault, he did find some victories, having managed to capture Jedi Master Eth Koth in a previous engagement. Finally, Separatist forces began approaching on their first major prize, the planet of Saleucami. The Separatist fleet consisted of a single Recusant-class dreadnought, a larger version of the Recusant class, as well as 3 Munificent-class star frigates. This relatively small Separatist force was designed to invade the relatively undefended planet of Saleucami and claim it for the Separatist cause. However, when they arrived, partially to the surprise of Separatist commanders, they were met with a Republic fleet. This fleet consisted of 3 Venator-class Star Destroyers, led by the Star Destroyer the Resolute, Anakin Skywalker's flagship, as well as 3 Consular-class cruisers and a single Architans-class light cruiser. This Architans-class light cruiser, known as the Surrogator, was in fact one of the first Architans-class light cruisers to see combat, at least that we see on screen. Republic forces in this engagement did have one major objective, and that was to rescue Jedi Master Eth Koth, but they also hoped to capture General Grievous and prevent a potential invasion of Saleucami. So while the 3 Venators held back, the escort ships, the 3 Consulars, and the Architans advanced toward the Separatist forces. The 3 Consulars surged ahead of the Architans to provide fire support and harass Separatist ships. Meanwhile, the large capital ships, the Venators, held back and bombarded the Separatist formation with long-range turbo lasers. While Republic forces were approaching the Separatist fleet, General Kenobi on board the Surrogator hailed the Separatist command ship and taunted General Grievous, attempting to lure him into a trap. This ultimately proved effective as the tractor beams on board the large Recusant-class dreadnought quickly captured the small Architans-class light cruiser and pulled it into a docking position. Meanwhile, the Consular-class cruisers continued to fly circular patterns around the Separatist fleet, flying in and bombarding Separatist ships before pulling back to a safe distance. While Separatist forces were distracted engaging the light Republic cruisers, a single Edda-class shuttle piloted by Anakin Skywalker was able to jump into system and sneak past Separatist defenses, docking with the Recusant-class dreadnought. From that shuttle, a small Republic strike force was able to board the Separatist dreadnought and begin making their way towards the bridge where Jedi General Eth Koth was held captive. Meanwhile, Separatist forces carried out boarding actions against the captured Republic Architans-class light cruiser. On board the Separatist dreadnought, Republic forces were able to make their way to the bridge and eliminate the Separatist forces that had been stationed on the bridge to attempt to prevent a rescue effort, and were able to secure General Eth Koth before making their way off of the Separatist dreadnought. Meanwhile, back on board the Architans light cruiser, Separatist boarding forces were ultimately repelled, with General Grievous being forced to retreat back to the dreadnought. In the process, however, he did order his forces on board the Recusant-class vessel to fire on the Architans, ultimately destroying its engines and eventually destroying the vessel itself, leaving only a small Republic force surviving on board the Recusant, with those forces able to be rescued by Republic forces landing in the hangar. Seeing the space battle turning south, the decision was made that Separatist forces should carry out a landing operation in an attempt to salvage the ongoing offensive. As a result, Separatist forces began boarding a single C-9979 landing craft to begin preparing for a planetary invasion. Under fire by Republic forces, the C-9979 was able to detach from the Recusant-class dreadnought and begin making its way down to the surface. However, in the process, it was significantly damaged by debris from the now destroyed Architans-class light cruiser. The now crippled C-9979 tumbled into the planet's atmosphere and crashed on Saleucami, with its crew on board, including General Grievous, managing to vacate the landing craft in escape pods. While the battle in orbit would continue for several more days, Republic forces would withdraw from this first attack and continue bombarding Separatist forces from afar, while they shifted their focus to capturing General Grievous on the surface of the planet. And while the hunt for General Grievous down on the surface of Saleucami was dramatic, it's a conversation for another day. This Separatist offensive immediately followed the Separatist defeat at the Second Battle of Geonosis, and if you'd like to learn about how the Separatists lost that battle, I'll leave a link in the upper right-hand corner to my battle analysis on the assault on the droid factory, which finalized the Separatist defeat there. And if you have any other battles you'd like to see covered in future episodes of Battle Analysis and added to the archive, you can let me know down below in the comments. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, head down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.